So, if the Hall of Records really exists, why hasn't anyone found it? Or maybe someone has. That's the question that pulls this entire mystery apart. Because the deeper you look, the stranger it gets. Let's start where most people point. The Great Sphinx of Giza. Right beneath it, that's where the hall is rumored to be hidden. Not just by random stories, but by psychics, scholars, and even scientists. In the 1990s, researchers used special radar to scan under the Sphinx, and what they found shocked everyone. There were unexplained cavities, large rectangular spaces beneath the monument, perfectly shaped, and exactly where ancient texts and mystics said the hall would be. But instead of digging, the project was shut down. No official excavations, no public explanation, just silence. And that's when people started asking, is someone hiding something? Because here's what you need to know. Egypt's historical sites aren't easy to explore. Access is tightly controlled. You can't just show up and dig. Every move must be approved by powerful officials, and many researchers say those doors stay closed. Some archaeologists have been denied access, even with full funding and experience. Why? Many believe it's not about protecting history, it's about protecting a narrative. Because if the Hall of Records really exists, and if it contains ancient scrolls, advanced technology, or lost spiritual teachings, then everything we've been told about history could collapse. Textbooks would be wrong, timelines would shift, religions and governments might lose control of their stories. And that kind of change, it scares people. It threatens power. Some go even further. They believe the hall has already been found, in secret, that hidden groups, backed by money and influence, have quietly entered it, taken what they wanted, and locked the truth away. Maybe that's why you'll hear about strange restoration projects around the Sphinx, but never real excavations. Maybe that's why whistleblowers vanish from public attention, why some voices are silenced. It's not proof, but it makes you wonder, if the Hall of Records really holds the blueprint of ancient knowledge, the story of Atlantis, the secrets of consciousness, then wouldn't some people want it all for themselves? Not to share, not to teach, but to control. That's why this mystery still burns so brightly. It's not just about stones and scrolls. It's about truth, the kind that can't stay buried forever. And maybe, just maybe, it's already been uncovered, but the world's just not ready to hear it. Have you ever wondered if there's a place that holds all the secrets of human history? Everything we've forgotten or were never told. A place not found in textbooks, not mentioned by modern historians, but whispered about by mystics, spiritual teachers, and ancient legends. They call it the Hall of Records. But what is it really? Let's break it down. The Hall of Records is believed to be an ancient, hidden chamber buried deep beneath the sands of Egypt, most likely beneath the paws of the Great Sphinx. But this isn't just any secret room. It's said to be a cosmic library, a vault of knowledge, a sacred archive that holds the forgotten story of humanity. Inside this hall, it's believed there are scrolls, tablets, and otherworldly documents, writings that tell us where we came from, what came before us, and what we were truly meant to become. But it's not just a fantasy. Many spiritual thinkers believe this place is very real. Let's talk about Edgar Cayce, one of the most famous mystics of the 20th century. Known as the sleeping prophet, he gave readings while in a trance. And in those readings, Cayce often mentioned the Hall of Records. He said it was created by survivors of Atlantis, the legendary lost civilization, thousands of years ago. After their world was destroyed by a great flood, these wise beings supposedly came to Egypt and hid their knowledge underground, to protect it until humanity was ready to receive it again. Cayce described it in detail, an ancient room full of books, artifacts, and spiritual records, a place that held not just history, but deep truths about the soul, the universe, and our connection to higher realms. And he wasn't alone in this belief. Many other spiritual teachers across the world, from Egypt, India, even South America, have told stories of similar record halls, hidden places filled with powerful knowledge built to survive time, war, and destruction. Some call them the Akashic records. Others link them to temples or vaults under sacred mountains. But the idea is the same, a hidden record of all things. But why would such a place be hidden? Some believe the knowledge inside could free humanity, that it holds truths about our spiritual power, our ancient past, and even lost technology. Truths that could collapse false histories, shake governments, or shift the balance of power. Others say the Hall of Records was hidden to protect us, because if found too early, its wisdom could be misused. Think about it. What if the wrong people got their hands on spiritual laws or forgotten energy systems? Would they use it for peace or control? And then there are those who say the hall has already been found, but kept secret. Now you might be thinking, if this place is real, why hasn't it been shown to the world? Why don't we see photos or proof? That's the thing. In the 1990s, scientists using ground-penetrating radar did discover strange cavities under the Sphinx, hollow chambers, geometric shapes. But when they tried to dig or explore further, the Egyptian authorities shut it down. No one was allowed to investigate. Why? No one really knows. But for those who believe, the signs are clear. The Hall of Records is more than a legend. It's a doorway to our forgotten past, a vault of truth just waiting to be revealed. And maybe it's not just under the Sphinx. Some spiritualists believe the Hall of Records isn't just physical. They say it also exists on a higher level, a spiritual plane, a kind of universal memory anyone can access through meditation, dreams, or deep inner work. That means this isn't just a story about ancient stone and sand. It's also a story about you, about your soul's history, your purpose, and what you came here to remember. So now you know what the Hall of Records is, what it might contain, and why so many believe it still waits, untouched beneath the sands of time. The only question left is, are we ready to find it? Let's go back, far back, to a time before the pyramids, before recorded history, a time when gods walked among humans, when great civilizations rose and then vanished. This is where the legend of the Hall of Records truly begins. Some say it all started with Atlantis, a mighty empire of wisdom, energy, and spiritual knowledge. Atlantis wasn't just a myth to the ancient world. To many, it was a real place, filled with advanced beings who understood things we're only beginning to rediscover today. But then, something happened, a disaster, a massive flood. Atlantis was swallowed by the sea. And the survivors? They didn't just vanish. They traveled to Egypt, to South America, to other lands, bringing their knowledge with them. One group of these survivors is said to have come to Egypt, guided by a powerful being named Thoth. Now, Thoth wasn't an ordinary man. He was called a god, the god of wisdom, writing, and magic. But in some stories, Thoth wasn't a god at all, but an ancient Atlantean priest-king, one of the last survivors of the fallen empire, a being who chose to protect the sacred knowledge of Atlantis by hiding it. Where did he hide it? Beneath the earth, beneath the Sphinx, in what would come to be known as the Hall of Records. But there's more to this story. Thoth wasn't just a legend in Egypt. In ancient Greece, he was known as Hermes Trismegistus, the thrice great. He was seen as the bridge between gods and men, and the texts connected to him, called the Hermetic writings, became the foundation for alchemy, astrology, and deep spiritual teachings across the ancient world. One of the most mysterious texts linked to Thoth is the Emerald Tablet, a single stone slab said to contain the secrets of the universe. It talks about as above, so below, the idea that the spiritual and physical worlds are mirrors of each other. Many believe this tablet is part of the Hall of Records itself. Now think about that for a moment. An ancient priest-king from Atlantis, bringing a message of wisdom and magic, hiding powerful knowledge beneath a giant stone lion facing the rising sun. It sounds like fantasy. But here's the strange part. The more you look, the more the pieces begin to fit. Egyptian mythology says the gods did not originate in Egypt. They came from the stars or from lands that no longer exist. The god Osiris is said to have brought civilization to Egypt after a flood. And Thoth? He was said to be the one who recorded it all. And according to many mystics, this isn't just a story. They believe the Hall of Records was placed beneath the Sphinx by these ancient survivors. A time capsule, a spiritual vault, something meant to be opened only when the world is ready, and maybe that time is now. Because in recent decades, radar scans beneath the Sphinx have revealed strange underground chambers, hollow spaces, structures that don't belong there. But here's the twist. No one is allowed to dig. Egyptian authorities have blocked every effort to excavate under the Sphinx. Some believe it's to protect the site. Others believe the truth is being hidden. So the legend lives on. A lost civilization, a god of wisdom, a hidden chamber of truth beneath one of the most mysterious monuments on Earth. And the question we're all left asking is this: what did Thoth really hide beneath the sands of Giza? And why have we not been allowed to see it? If you felt something stir in you while hearing this, you're not alone. In the heart of the Egyptian desert, under the blazing sun, stands a giant carved from stone, silent, mysterious, watching, the Great Sphinx of Giza. It's one of the most iconic monuments on Earth, a lion's body with a human face. But behind its calm expression lies a question that has puzzled the world for centuries. What is the Sphinx hiding? Most people think they know the Sphinx. They've seen it in books, documentaries, even on postcards. But what if we told you the story we've been told is not the full truth? Mainstream historians say the Sphinx was built around 4,500 years ago, during the reign of Pharaoh Khafra. But many researchers, geologists, and spiritual seekers disagree. They believe it's much older, maybe even twice as old. Why? Because of the weather. You see, the body of the Sphinx shows signs of heavy water erosion, deep vertical grooves, worn edges, damage that could only be caused by years of rain. But here's the problem. It hasn't rained like that in the Egyptian desert for over 10,000 years. So how could a statue supposedly built during the time of the pyramids have been exposed to that kind of weather? It doesn't add up. That's why many now believe the Sphinx was carved long before Egypt's known history even began, possibly by a forgotten civilization, maybe even Atlantis. But age isn't the only mystery. Let's talk about what might lie beneath. In the 1990s, scientists used ground-penetrating radar to scan under the Sphinx. What they found shocked them. The scans revealed hollow spaces, underground chambers, geometric shapes, too perfect to be natural. Some of these cavities were directly beneath the paws of the Sphinx, exactly where ancient texts and mystics claimed a secret chamber was hidden. This led many to believe that under the Sphinx lies something incredible, something the ancient world left behind. Some call it a time capsule, others call it the Hall of Records, a place that may hold forgotten knowledge, scrolls, or even proof of advanced civilizations that came before Egypt. It could change everything we know about human history, but here's where it gets even more strange. After the scans were done, all digging and exploration was shut down. Permission was denied. Access was blocked. No one has been allowed to explore those chambers. Why? If there's nothing down there, why not just prove it? But if there is something, why are we not allowed to see it? Many spiritual seekers believe the Sphinx is not just a monument. They say it's a guardian, a symbol, a protector of the truth. Its massive body faces exactly east, aligned with the rising sun. Some say it was placed there to watch the stars, track time, or even to guard the entrance to something deeper, something sacred. Could it be guarding ancient wisdom, a truth humanity isn't ready for, or a power that some want to keep hidden? This isn't just about stone and sand anymore. This is about what's being kept from us, a structure older than we thought, chambers beneath its feet, and secrets sealed beneath silence. The Great Sphinx doesn't speak. But maybe it's trying to tell us something. Do you think the Sphinx is guarding the truth? Or have we been told a lie? And remember, some monuments don't just mark time, they protect it. Let's step into the world of prophecy, of visions, dreams, and one man who claimed to see the future while in a deep trance. His name was Edgar Cayce. And what he said about Egypt and the Hall of Records, it might just change the way you see everything. Edgar Cayce wasn't a priest, he wasn't a scientist, he was just a simple man from Kentucky. But people called him the sleeping prophet. Why? Because Cayce had a very strange gift. He could lie down, close his eyes, fall into a deep sleep, and then he'd start speaking. While asleep, he gave thousands of readings, answering questions about health, lost history, Atlantis, and even the future. Doctors, scientists, and everyday people were shocked. He would reveal things he had no way of knowing, down to the smallest detail. But one of the most famous and controversial things Cayce ever said was about Egypt. In the early 1900s, long before we had radar scans or modern technology, Edgar Cayce gave a series of readings that talked about a hidden chamber beneath the Sphinx. He said this chamber wasn't just a tomb or a room, it was a hall of records, a secret library, buried by survivors of Atlantis, filled with the true history of humankind, long before the pyramids, long before any known civilization. And Cayce didn't just talk about it in passing. He said it clearly. A hall of records will be discovered between 1996 and 1998, beneath the right paw of the Sphinx. That one sentence lit a fire under explorers, spiritual seekers, and scientists around the world. So, what happened in the 1990s? Believe it or not, Cayce's prophecy lined up with real discoveries. Between 1996 and 1998, a team of researchers used ground-penetrating radar to scan under the Sphinx. And what they found was shocking. They detected unnatural hollow spaces under the exact area Cayce mentioned, a rectangular chamber beneath the right paw of the Sphinx. It was as if Cayce's words, spoken decades earlier, were suddenly coming true. But just when the world was paying attention, access was denied. Authorities shut down the research. No further digging was allowed. The chamber remains sealed to this day. Why? Why would a government stop an exploration that could change human history? Some say it's to protect the monument. Others believe there's more to the story, because Cayce's prophecy didn't end with the discovery. He said that once this hall was opened, the knowledge inside would bring a spiritual awakening, that people would begin to remember who they truly are, that the truth about our past would free us. Could this be the real reason the chamber was never opened? Is the truth too powerful or too dangerous? Cayce passed away in 1945, but his words still echo today. He spoke of Atlantis, of ancient energy, of a time when humans lived in harmony with the stars, and he believed the answers were hidden in Egypt, waiting to be found. Was he just a dreamer, or did he really see the future? That's up to you to decide. Imagine standing before a sealed chamber, hidden beneath the sand for thousands of years. No one's opened it. No one knows what's inside. But legends say it holds the truth about who we are and where we come from. This is the Hall of Records, and if it's real, what could be waiting behind those stone walls? Let's open our minds. First, ancient scrolls. Not just old paper or faded ink, but records from a forgotten age. These scrolls might tell us about a time before Egypt, before history as we know it even began. They could describe powerful civilizations that rose and fell long before the pyramids. Maybe they talk about Atlantis, the advanced society Cayce spoke of, and how its survivors came to Egypt, bringing their knowledge with them. If that's true, these scrolls wouldn't just be history. They'd rewrite everything we know. Second, star maps. Many believe the ancient world was deeply connected to the stars. The pyramids align with Orion's belt. Temples point to solstices and celestial events. Could the Hall of Records contain maps of the cosmos, charts showing our connection to distant star systems, or even visitors from beyond? Some say the Sphinx was built to guard this knowledge, that it's not just a statue but a message, pointing to the sky. If star maps exist inside, they might reveal how ancient people understood the universe, or how they were guided by something greater than ourselves. Next, teachings about the soul. Many spiritual seekers believe the hall holds more than just facts. They believe it holds spiritual truth. What if this chamber contains knowledge of who we really are, beyond our names, our jobs, or our physical bodies? What if it explains the laws of the universe? Karma, reincarnation, the journey of the soul through time. It might even teach us how energy, thought, and consciousness shape reality itself. That kind of knowledge could free us from fear, from confusion, from forgetting what it means to be human. But it doesn't stop there. Some believe the hall may even contain proof of contact with beings not from this earth. Could there be records of extraterrestrial visitors? Gods in flying machines? Messages carved in stone, warning or guiding us? It sounds impossible, but ancient texts across the world speak of sky people, shining ones, and knowledge gifted from the stars. If those records are inside, we may learn that we are not alone, and never have been. Think about what this means. A chamber buried in silence, holding forgotten truth, hidden wisdom, and maybe even evidence that connects our spiritual past to something far bigger than we ever imagined. Not just history, but identity. Not just mystery, but awakening. That's why so many believe the Hall of Records isn't just a place. It's a key to who we are and what we're meant to become. And tell us in the comments, what do you think is buried beneath the Sphinx? Because the truth might already be written, just waiting to be unlocked. We've talked about the Hall of Records, where it might be, and what could be inside. But here's the big question. If it's really there, why hasn't it been found? Or more importantly, has it already been found and kept secret from us all? Let's break this down. First, let's talk about the location. Many believe the Hall of Records is buried beneath the Sphinx, one of the oldest and most mysterious monuments on Earth. In the 1990s, scientists used ground-penetrating radar to scan the area. And guess what? They found strange, unnatural voids right beneath the Sphinx's paws, perfectly rectangular, exactly where Edgar Cayce said the hall would be. But right when things got interesting, everything stopped. The Egyptian government blocked further digging. No permission, no explanation, just silence. Why? This brings us to something deeper: secrecy. Some say the hall hasn't been found because it's being kept hidden on purpose. That powerful groups, academic, political, even religious, don't want the truth to come out. Think about it. If the Hall of Records proves that humans had advanced knowledge thousands of years ago, before Egypt, before Sumer, before what textbooks say, it would destroy everything we've been taught about history. It could challenge religion, shake science, and prove that ancient humans were far more advanced, spiritually and technologically, than we've been told. That kind of truth? Not everyone wants it out. There are whispers of secret excavations. Some believe that deep in the night, when no one is watching, there have been underground digs near the Sphinx, that certain teams, backed by unknown groups, have already entered the chamber and taken what was inside. But you won't find this in the news. There are no official records, just clues and silence. Even researchers who tried to speak out say they were silenced or pushed out. Coincidence or cover-up? Let's talk about the control of information. Egypt's Ministry of Antiquities is extremely strict. They control access to historical sites. They decide who gets to dig and who doesn't. Many respected archaeologists have been denied access, even with the right tools and funding. Why? Some say it's to protect the monuments. Others say it's to protect the narrative. Because if a hidden library exists, and it tells a very different story of human history, it might be too much for the world to handle. And finally, let's ask, what if it has been found? But what's inside is so powerful, it's been kept hidden for our own good. What if it's not just old scrolls? What if it's ancient technology, knowledge of energy, healing, consciousness, the kind of things that could free people from control systems and unlock a level of awareness we've forgotten? Would the world powers want that knowledge in everyone's hands? Or would they hide it and use it for themselves? That's the mystery. So, do you think the Hall of Records is still waiting to be found? Or do you believe someone already has the key and they're keeping it from the world? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, And stay tuned, because we're just getting started uncovering what's hidden beneath the sands of time. So now you've heard the story, the Hall of Records, a place that could hold the greatest secrets of our past, lost knowledge, forgotten wisdom, maybe even the true story of who we really are. It may still be there, hidden beneath the Sphinx, deep in the sands of time, waiting to be found. But here's the real question. Are we ready to uncover it? Are we ready to face the truth, even if it changes everything we thought we knew? Because once the truth comes out, there's no going back. This mystery isn't just about ancient walls or old scrolls. It's about us, our origins, our purpose, and what we're truly capable of. If this story sparked something in you, if it made you wonder, then don't let it stop here. Like this video to support more truth-seeking stories. Subscribe so you never miss what comes next, and drop a comment. Tell us what you believe is hidden beneath the Sphinx. And remember, watch until the end, because the next chapter, it goes even deeper down the rabbit hole. The mystery isn't over. It's only just begun.